there is no solution here then that doesn't involve some interference, unquote. That sounds like the public interest. Or how about Katie Telford, who said, quote, "We don't want to debate legalities anymore," unquote. There again, the public interest.
Public interest. Wow.
Madam Speaker,
The greater good.
none of those matters in any way have anything to do with the public interest. They are not factors that legitimately can be considered by the Attorney General in the exercise of her prosecutorial discretion when taking into account the public interest. But you know what those statements also demonstrate? Is the total lack of respect for the rule of law by this Prime Minister, by his Chief of Staff, by his Principal Secretary, and by the Clerk of the Privy Council and others. They knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew what they were doing crossed the line. But you know what? They didn't care because they thought they could get away with it. They thought they were too powerful to obey the law. They thought they would never get caught. And they thought that the former Attorney General would succumb to the pressure. Because in addition to all of these totally inappropriate considerations, she was repeatedly threatened that she would be fired. But boy, Madam Speaker, did they ever underestimate the former Attorney General when the Clerk of the Privy Council called her immediately after speaking with the Prime Minister, what a coincidence, and threatened her not once, not twice, but 3 times, and told her that the Prime Minister was going to get his way, and that there were problems with the Prime Minister not being on the same page as the Attorney General. When she didn't cave, the Prime Minister at the very first opportunity fired her as Attorney General. All because she wouldn't succumb to the pressure, all because she had too much integrity not to break the law. And we have a Prime Minister who has a lot, therefore, to answer. It's very clear that all along he was up to his eyeballs in this sordid affair. This Prime Minister has repeatedly been untruthful. He has repeatedly failed to come clean with the facts. He has repeatedly tried to cover this up. And therefore, he needs to come before the Justice Committee under oath and answer the questions that Canadians so desperately deserve. And before he does it, he should resign. Thank you.
Questions and comments? The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. A couple of comments right at the outset. There's no evidence of any criminal behavior. That was the actual testimony from the former Minister of the Attorney General yesterday. Secondly, this has entered into the debate, and let's be clear for the record that any attacks on the character of the member from Vancouver Grenville are completely unacceptable. That has been stated by the government House Leader today, that has been stated repeatedly by members, by myself in this House last week, and I will state that again on the record. The third point is that with respect to sexual trafficking in Libya, that is obviously clearly unacceptable to any member of Parliament. The point I want to raise to the member opposite with respect to his speech is that he's again indicated that we're talking about the context of these remediation agreements. And let us be clear that what the remediation agreement seeks to do is hold responsible those who have actually made decisions at the corporate leadership level and render not responsible those who are not responsible for wrongdoing.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to my show. I'm gonna call it an Ape Watches for now. I'm gonna call it an Ape Watches for now. Just because, I don't know, drive an ape man, call me an ape, hug, you know, all that fun shit. I hope I'm not echoing. I didn't put in the sound foam I bought today. Not yet, but I will. Welcome. Rambler, I see you're there. I don't know who else is here, but cool. So, what we're watching is there's this thing going on up here called the S&C Laval scandal, which is basically a construction company in Quebec asked for permission to go to Lebanon to do some jobs, quotes. They ended up, apparently, according to this, $30,000 hookers. This is global news, so I'm probably going to get struck to shit, but who knows. All politicians are like, they could do with lead poisoning. This is actually kind of a really interesting debate. I've been sitting here with my jaw dropped for about a half hour. I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll try and get into this. But yeah, I'm it's rather intriguing to listen to. Yeah, they are. They're a huge firm, but this is all circling around Trudeau. Like, this is a huge scandal for our country. This is actually kind of big to find out whether or not he had a hand in them going, and whether or not he knew about a lot of those shady shit they were doing. And what happened is, yeah, Stan Oaks, we have as it's not the country that's corrupt, it's the governments that lead, and in this case, the Trudeau family. But that's okay. Coming up, they're gonna be gone. Crack this open. No, it's not booze, it's green tea. I might need booze after this, though. So it's so what ended up happening was this woman, Boyard something, she was their attorney general. Suddenly she got demoted to, immigration minister? No, Minister of Veterans Affairs. So she took that because, and then she had to, all of a sudden it came out that she was consulting a lawyer about how much she could talk about this, and now it's just becoming this huge thing about whether or not he should step down. Really? See, I need to look up this whole thing, because this is just appalling. Now, it's interesting to watch. I'm trying to understand this stuff more. But the stuff that I've been reading on it, it's just the controversy around the release of her. The fact that she had to go and ask how much she could talk about is interesting. So I can find a story on it real quick while we watch this, but it's so I'm probably gonna get hit, but I don't know if I should hit the video or not. I haven't even hit the transition button. Let's switch over. I can't speak French. I don't understand French. I understand more Spanish than French, and it ain't even that much. So, yeah. You're going to have to try and understand it for yourself. But, it's interesting to watch the Liberals as they dance around every single question. And the fact that, like, I just heard it was $30,000 in Lebanese hookers with the Gaddafi boys. That's rather, that's kind of weird. Hey, Stan, if you can find me a, tell you what, I'll do you a favor because I know you. I've seen you before. I'll give you one of these. Give me a hand with something. Find me. Here's a wrench. Rambler, here's a wrench. I give you these powers. Do not allow them to go to waste. Grab me a link. Grab me some. If you can find something, grab me an article that you read that can help me out here. Hey, it's Costin. Hey, buddy. So I don't know if you guys can see the video feed or not. What is going on here? Well, I have a cat trying to get in. Were they kidding? No, they were Lebanese hookers. So all I heard from where's that video button? Video. Where was the part that talked about hookers? I'm probably gonna break something.
the mind of our former Attorney General for decisions she has already made.
Yeah.
So my
No, don't need to hear from you.
c'est comme ça fonctionne.
Yeah, you're speaking French. I can't help you. This is hard to do.
Exactly what's at the
I had no timestamps for this because this is actually this is live right now.
They deserve the respect. You may not agree with what is being said.
That's right before this, I think. Because she gave them a lecture.
3-4 personnes dans leurs
Yeah.
articles.
The guy, they actually screwed up the audio on this. The translator is in there if you listen close. The translator is talking, but they haven't swapped the audio. So it doesn't really help. Good job, Global. I applaud you.
Et c'est ça qui compte à la fin.
Yeah. Find me something better.
J'ai entendu mes collègues locaux.
Okay, I gotta fix that. That cat's gonna kill me.
Et c'est ça qui est important.
Alright, come in, Jordy.
Nous
Come on. Come on.
l'opposition
Thank
officielle,
you.
Madame la Présidente.
Now, the other thing is, I'm trying to figure out,
I want to get into the issue of the integrity
Oop.
framework because I
There
think
we go.
it's an issue that is important, and we've been attacked again by the opposition, saying testimony yesterday, and this was not a question asked by members of on this side.
Where are you?
This was not questions asked by the official opposition. It was a question asked by the
This
member
is-
from Skeena-Bulkley Valley. And he asked the former Procurator General whether or not there was any illegal activity conducted in this activity, and she said no. She said absolutely not.
okay.
So my question is.
So then why are we here?
question is, the leader of the official opposition stood up yesterday at 7 o'clock, did a big press release, talked about interfering in the judicial process, while at the same time directing the police to investigate this particular issue, knowing full well that the former Procurator General said
What we
there's
got?
no criminal activity. So, Madam Speaker,
The
I
guys
will,
at Dynacorp the same way make the guys at Blackwater.
but I just want to say that
Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
MP will fight for jobs, and if those MPs
Ah,
on
there
the
we
other
go.
side won't
Oh, why you gotta give me that? No. Fine. I said lucrative. I said reliable. Send me a Huffington article. What is this? What is this?
L'honorable député de Charlebourg-Saint-Charles.
La présidente, écoutez,
Yeah, French people.
collègue, pour votre discours un peu tordu. J'aimerais demander à mon collègue.
I don't know what you are saying. Please do not do this. Why do we have this when only like 40% of our country speaks French still, huh? See, it's interesting because they keep. I noticed something a little bit. I've been watching this. They keep circling around, so eventually you get the story after sitting there listening to the live stream itself. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Okay, this is annoying. Come on. What'd I break? Cats are cute. Cats are evil. Cats are cute. Yeah, I don't know where any of the cats went now.
Are very clear.
They all posted virtually the same thing.
Some of those dates, those key dates, for the benefit of Canadians. Now, on September 4th, the Director of Public Prosecution informed SNC Lavalin that the trial would go ahead.
You guys may do it out loud the best, but we've got the best little super scandals. Seriously, the gas plant scandal is still the weirdest one. You want to talk deleted emails that makes Clinton look like nothing.
That lawful authority was not present. And that began
The Quebec construction industry is all mafia. We all know this. It's all mafia led.
A few days later, the Chief of Staff to the Minister of Finance, Ben Chin, contacted the Chief of Staff to the Attorney General and said that
I'm
if
kind of
equivalent
disturbed that you guys aren't getting the video feed. Are you guys seeing the video or no? I can't see it on my secondary screen.
September 11th,
Whoop.
that same Chief of Staff said to the Minister,
By the way, this is the live part now. I just said screw it because we'll circle back around.
SNC was aware that they were not receiving that DPA. On the 16th of September, Jessica Prince, the Chief of Staff to
Hey,
the
Robert
Attorney
Burke.
General,
How you doing, buddy?
received a call from Mathieu Bouchard and Elder Marquez from the PMO, and they told her that SNC made further submissions to the Crown and, quote, there is some softening, but not much, end quote. They told her that SNC-Lavalin's board meeting is on September 20th, and they also mentioned the Quebec election.
This is not helping my case.
The Attorney General's Chief of Staff, Ms. Prince, she told them that these concerns were bordering on interference in prosecutorial discretion.
Uh-huh.
As my colleague stated before, the board meetings, share value, an election, a provincial election, these are not matters that can be
Yeah, I can't see it on the watch screen. Damn it.
in making a
This should not be a black screen.
On September 17th, the Prime Minister,
So sorry if we got a black screen. Okay, how can we fix this?
the then Attorney General, to discuss the prosecution. The Prime Minister raised the issue immediately, and it was so inappropriate.
Let's see here.
It was done that the former Attorney General directly addressed the inappropriateness of the questions from.
Well, I guess it's okay. You guys are fine with it just being the audio. You don't need to see them talk.
It didn't end there.
It's kind of funny, though, how white we are.
19th, the Attorney General
Everyone's so pale.
met with the
So pale.
and he brought up job losses, and that SNC's legal counsel is not a
See if I can
shrinking
bring this
violet.
back up a little
Again,
bit.
These are not matters of the
Go there.
public interest. Whether or not their legal
I hope that's
counsel
better
is
for
a
everybody in the
shrinking
background.
violet.
I saw someone said, "Oh, we can't hear the
The
background."
Attorney General then had to have a conversation with the Finance Minister, who wanted to browbeat her on the issue again.
Let's see here.
She told him that those engagements needed to stop. Those
Yeah,
interventions needed to stop.
that would be a good idea.
And Madam Speaker, it
Okay.
went on, and it went on,
So she
and
kept
it
telling
went
him.
on.
Interesting.
And it went on until December 19th. And after a lunch between the clerk of
Oh,
the
that's
Privy
better, Stan.
Council, Mr.
I'll take a
Burnett, and the
National
Prime
Post article if
Minister,
that works.
that the former Attorney
Okay,
General
let me,
received a phone call, and that the clerk said,
pop
quote,
that
I think
open.
the Prime Minister is going to find a way to get it done one way or another. Quote, it is not good for a Prime Minister and his Attorney General to be at loggerheads. She did not waver. She did not allow that interference to occur. And on January 7th, she received a phone call from the Prime Minister that
This guy
she
looks
was
like
being
Trudeau. It's actually kind of
fired.
interesting. This guy looks like what Trudeau would look like if he
And
was a
on
conservative.
January 11th,
Okay, let's pause the audio on that for a second. They're just recanting the whole thing. Oh, that's the article. Stephen Harper feared he might have to resign over 2008 bribery allegations. Interesting. So this has been going on for a long time. Wow. Prime Minister Stephen Harper told Jim Flaherty in 2007 he planned to move him from finance to industry, but backed off. Mr. Flaherty threatened to quit cabinet. A new book reveals. Interesting. Wait. This is like the exact same thing. Interesting. Kim Campbell. The book tracks 2 decades. Oh, this is a... Okay, it's a... Harper was quickly disabused of the idea by his staff, and instead the Prime Minister served notice of a libel suit against the opposition Liberals and their then leader, Stéphane Dion, over the Cadman affair. The Cadman affair? Details of the behind-the-scenes discussions are contained in 14 Days, book by Carson, who served as senior aide to Harper from 2004 to 2008. The brief crisis occurred in February 2008. Cadman was a former Canadian Alliance MP who had turned independent. Cadman had been the deciding vote in the 2005 non-confidence vote of the House of Commons that kept Paul Martin's Liberals in power. Oh, I wasn't in the country for all that. Okay. To the dismay of Harper's opposition party, Cadman died of skin cancer 2 months after the vote.
Deputy Minister was informed that the
Where'd you start
new
talking
Attorney
again? The hell?
General would be dealing with
It
one
started
issue
talking on
before
its own.
any
I didn't
other,
click it.
and that was that 3-letter mandate that he was given, SNC.
Okay, I guess it needed to put the hammer to the nail of who it was. Later, when Harper himself had been Prime Minister for 2 years, a political firestorm erupted as it was revealed. A Vancouver journalist was about to publish a book claiming 2 senior members of the Conservative team have offered Cadman a $1 million life insurance policy to bring down the Liberals back in 2005. What? The book's author quoted Harper from a brief interview that suggested that As an opposition leader, Harper knew about an offer by this team. When the story broke in 2008, Harper's office immediately released a statement categorically denying the allegation, saying that at no time had Harper directed a party official to make any kind of financial arrangement with... Okay, this is almost the same, but not quite. Okay, okay, Stan. I don't see any mention of SNC Laval, but this is the Cadman affair, not the SNC affair. So, kind of the same, but not. I mean, okay. Companies knew about the bribe. See, I can't trust this stuff. CP, they should get banned. Let's see here. Robert Card, the CEO of scandal-plagued SNC Laval, is stepping down, the company announced Monday morning. This is from the Huffington Post. Heck, girl. And buttons aren't toys. A pop-up. Why? Because you don't like me. Go back up to the top. This is not a good day. Let's see here. Why does everything have to freeze? Okay, see, I would say yay or nay. Let's see if they're arguing anymore. Play?
Canadians are rightly concerned.
Live. Let's see here. What is going on? I'll do more digging in a minute. I have a few. I can find more. I just gotta find. What I have to do is I gotta get into my Twitter. So you gotta give me a minute so I can get to my DMs. But in the meantime, we're gonna listen to the. Oh my God!
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank my colleagues.
It's a
for the
May.
question. And you know, nothing at this point is surprising me, but I continue to be more and more concerned with the tangled web that...
I'm curious if they're going to go for a vote of no confidence this close to an election. That's kind of why I'm sucked into this so much. That's why I said, like, most of the people that follow us don't care about politics, Canadian-wise. Like, Costin, you're nearby, so I know you know about this shit. It's one of the reasons that I tell the people to vote. Yeah, but the problem is, like, for our region, who is there that we can vote that's independent that's actually going to matter? Nobody. We've got
questions and comments.
Up here we've got like 3 to choose from that are garbage. We're led by an NDP. We have an NDP for our MPP, or our MP rather.
We've seen the Prime Minister through the testimony given by
and I kind of want the really want the PC back that was here before. C71. C71's still going?
Important because it furthers the cause of justice. I want to ask the member directly for him to comment on this. Does it further the cause?
But they're going to take the guns. You know that. They want to take what guns we have left. They want to limit how much money we can spend. They're already trying to mess with the metals markets a lot. Trudeau. Apparently, Tweed and him are intertwined as well, so there's a thought for everybody. But that's just one of my conspiracy nut buddies. Like, conspiracy nut that is a buddy. That's better. Before anybody cuts that.
You know, for the former Attorney General to stand up
I don't think... See, the C71 thing, I think that's not going to go anywhere now. We're too close to... we're way too close to the end of days on this. Like, what do we got? Less than I want to say less than 250 days left till Election Day. What is it, October 19th?
The wheels really come off.
And having a writing name by Algoma Manitoulin Kapuskasing, I can tell the member that I sympathize with him for how long the name of the writing is.
I hope it gets put on the back burner till we get Scheer in, and we're good. Yeah, the new PM will, like, look at the big 3 that we got to deal with. We got Jagmeet Singh, who just got reelected in his riding, so you know he's gonna stay NDP leader, so he's gonna run back up again. The heck is her stupid name? No, Horvath? Where's that?
Donc, je reprends que je vais
Yeah.
partager mon temps avec le très
No.
sympathique député de la Pointe de
That's
l'Île.
provincial.
Alors, depuis
That's
le
two
début
NDP leaders.
de
See, I
l'année
hate the NDP so
2019,
much.
les libéraux sont complètement
So we got
embourbés
Jagmeet
dans le
Singh,
fiasco
who
de
is
SNC-Lavalin.
leaning
L'ex-procureur
very
général
close
fait part
to
de sa vision des
far
faits
more
sans
socialist than the
vérité pour
NDP ever
reprendre
could.
son expression.
Why can't you get behind Scheer?
Permettez-moi,
What
à mon
I
tour,
I
de
haven't
faire
found.
part
What
des
has he
faits
done
qui
wrong?
sont
Like
à
I
notre
don't get it.
disposition.
She's the only one we can really get behind. Like, who are we going to do? Vote for Trudeau again or vote for Singh?
Installé à Montréal et qui emploie des milliers
Like,
de Québécois et de Canadiens aussi.
well, we had a conservative ride-in until the orange wave rolled through because of that big kick in last. And then we've got Berdish Chagger, as the liberal side just down the road. Like, this is the problem.
Néanmoins, continuer à soumissionner à des contrats fédéraux jusqu'à la conclusion des procédures judiciaires.
That's you can't blame the MPs, Duck Dog. They're not the problem. The problem is the people from Global. Who do you think was behind Harper? Don't get me. See, that's the thing. Harper was a mistake. For him to have lasted as long as he did, that was a mistake. But then again, if you take a look, what Harper may have been a mistake, but who was the bigger mistake, Harper or when we had McGuinty here in Ontario? Like, that guy made Harper look like a saint. I swear they were brothers. But it's like, we need the Liberals out in order to balance everything out, because the balance is not going to budget. The balance is not going to budget itself. Good fucking Christ. The budget is not going to balance itself. Max. Yeah, okay. Do that, but I'm still going to say that that's not going to even put a peg in the minority. Like, that's the problem. The independent, unfortunately, we are not in the independents. I think, to be honest, an independent party in Canada, in our system as it sits right now, is never going to fly. We have too much people that have faith in the three. Martin was a crook, though. Preston Manning, I see. That was another one, too. See, we've had a lot of corrupt politicians. All the way back to Kim Campbell. What did she last? 3 months? Like, seriously. Our first woman prime minister. The People's Party. Why does the People's Party sound like commie as shit? For the people. No. I can't do that.
Je vais rappeler ce que sont les accords de réparation selon le ministère de la Justice. D'ailleurs, le secrétaire parlementaire tantôt disait qu'il fallait vraiment connaître ce que c'était. Alors,
you want Scheer to step down?
D'abord, le chapitre sur les objectifs d'un accord.
Is this about this isn't a for the allegations? What? Like, why? Like, if any, what has he done? Like, he's not gonna change any of this stuff that's actually good. Like, what has if we bring up McDonald again, then the Liberals will try and torch him. You know, if we have him as Frankenstein. This is scary. That woman is frightening. She makes...
Ensuite, dans le chapitre suivant, avantage potentiel d'un accord de réparation, il est écrit: un accord de réparation tiendrait les organisations responsables de leurs méfaits.
Okay, I'll bite, Stan. What about him makes him less of a strong leader than what we got in House right now, or what is the other option? You're not going to get the independent party in, so let's not even put that in. You know we have 3 options that are going to go. What? He may be a weasel, but he's still less of a weasel than what we got. He's more like a ferret. And if we have to have him as a holder, we're good. We can at McDonald's. Damn it, I didn't think of that. Running my game. It's the French, it's killing me. It's murder in my ears. Does he really?
Si l'organisation accusée se conformait aux conditions énoncées dans l'accord, le poursuivant
If I had more CPU power, I would. I would look into this. To what extent, though? Like, that's the only question.
alors
sticks with the
suspendre
UN
les
votes, but
accusations et
to-
aucune
just because
condamnation criminelle n'en
That's good.
résulterait.
The France Accord,
Mais si
okay.
l'organisation ne les a pas respectés, le juge pourrait approuver la
Now
résiliation de
the
l'accord.
question is,
Les
why did he have to
accusations
sign it?
pourraient être
Who
rétablies
did
et
anybody
les
abstain from
organisations
signing
accusées
it though? Who
pourraient
was
alors
there?
être poursuivies et
This is the
éventuellement
problem. Accords are
condamnées.
weird.
Un accord de réparation, là,
The
c'est pas d'abandonner les
French
poursuites contre une entreprise qui
accordion.
enfreint la loi.
Accord.
C'est s'assurer qu'elle ne
see
l'enfreint
here.
plus, la loi.
You mean the Paris Agreement?
Monsieur le Président, SNC-Lavalin est une entreprise qui a commis
Or am I
des
wrong?
crimes.
Yeah,
Et
the
elle
Paris
doit
Agreement,
payer
okay.
pour ces crimes. Mais pas les milliers
Let's see
d'employés
here.
qui y travaillent, pas les retraités, pas les clients, pas les
The
contractants,
Accord
pas
de
les
Paris.
sous-contractants.
Okay.
Pas les
It's
Québécois.
an agreement
Et
within the
par le
United
biais de la
Nations
Caisse des
framework.
dépôts
Okay.
en sont les actionnaires.
Oh, it's
Ce n'est pas parce
the
que
adaptation and
SNC-Lavalin
finance
a commis des
2020
crimes
agreements
qu'il
today,
faut
which was
détruire
negotiated. Okay.
SNC-Lavalin.
I'm using
Il faut
Wikipedia.
punir
I
les
understand.
criminels. Ça veut dire poursuivre
I'm
les
looking
dirigeants
at
qui ont
it.
commis des crimes. Ça veut dire faire payer l'entreprise pour les crimes qu'elle a commis. Un accord de
Just gives
réparation
America
permet
non-binding
cela.
agreements end
C'est
up becoming.
pourquoi bon nombre de pays utilisent cet outil. Maintenant, Monsieur le Président, revenons à
The
septembre
agreement,
2018.
the agreement's language and it was negotiated by representatives of 196 parties.
D'utiliser l'outil
Okay.
judiciaire qu'est l'accord de réparation, et c'est un pouvoir
So
que lui
six,
confère la loi.
so what? 11
Elle
parties refused to sign
On
it.
a
Okay, who
entendu
didn't
hier
sign
pendant
it?
des heures
There's the question.
l'ex-procureur général et on ne sait toujours pas pourquoi. Elle a
So, and why?
refusé. Le bureau du premier
see
ministre
here.
lui a dit, sans accord de
Ah,
réparation,
parties and
SNC-Lavalin
signatories.
pourrait quitter pour Londres.
194
Le procureur
states,
général
okay,
de
of
l'époque a
190
répondu qu'il
signed
ne
the
changeait
agreement.
pas d'idée.
Okay,
Le
so
bureau du
2
premier
didn't sign
ministre
it.
lui a dit que ça pourrait coûter des
Everybody
milliers
didn't include it in
d'emplois
the
au Québec et
US.
au Canada. Elle a répondu qu'elle ne changeait pas
And
d'idée.
he only condemned the
Tous
UN
les
Migration
arguments-
Pact
les
after
arguments
pressure.
y ont passé. Veut-elle d'autres avis d'experts?
Yes, honey, we are talking
Non,
to,
merci.
we're talking about the
On
Paris
pourrait
Accord
prendre
as we're
une
talking
direction.
about the SNC Laval scandal.
On a pris des engagements? J'en ne démordrai pas. Un siège social, des milliers d'emplois, rien n'y fait. Pourquoi? Pourquoi refusait-elle d'en arriver à
So
un
the Trump
accord de
administration delivered an
réparation
official
pour lequel
notice.
d'ailleurs
Okay,
elle
so
avait
they're
voté
drawing. So
avec
that's
une
this is so that's the thing that
entreprise
Trump
qui avait
just
été
withdrew
cassée
from. Okay.
des accords de réparation. On ne le sait
So,
toujours pas.
If 194, so if 194 out of 196 countries signed it, that means there must have been some sort of political pressure for him to sign it. So, if he and if he, it really fucking is. It's that's the whole thing because our country isn't really a like. There are no conservatives in Canada. Like this is why Blind and I are considered completely right wing because we disagree with a lot of the stuff that the conservatives do because it's weird. None of we have no. Everybody is liberal or worse in a sense. Like it's the Progressive Conservative Party. What do you expect? This is why it's hard to argue against anything for or against because we all have such great points on it all that we just end up going, you're right, we have to agree to disagree, it sucks. French, go away. Don't want to listen to you right now. Okay. Mute. Oh, my ears. Okay, so what if we can find something funny to watch? No, this is the whole thing. This entire SNC, like the whole SNC thing, is just one of those weird situations where we have a massive scandal that barely is being covered because even in our country, what's being covered more, SNC Laval or Trump? You know, this is the problem. So I saw this. I wanted to take a look at this because it's interesting. The thing that Omegon does with Cthulhu and Friends where they watch Question Period and stuff. It's kind of cool. I actually wanted to do that over here beforehand. Because nobody knows what goes on outside of your own country and nobody knows what goes on inside of Canada. We got some really screwed up people. And I wish I could figure out how to get the actual video to work, but I'm failing at this damn thing. I think what happened is when I switched over to my account on here, I didn't change the actual settings, and to do that I have to stop the stream. So, oh well. Personally, I know someone who has run for NDP during the last provincial election, and he believes that the Liberals are right-wing. Huh? Get our bank back. Yeah, no shit, Stan. Get our money back. Like, we are in a world of hurt. If Elizabeth May is talking. What is she saying here? Oh, god damn it. Her and her terrible, if you want to call that French. See, this is how poorly educated person speaks French. This is why I don't try. English, please, Liz. You don't speak French well.
Député de Repentigny.
Oui, alors,
That would be Elizabeth May of
the
evil Green Party.
Je me suis demandé, par exemple, où elle allait avec
Another
la
one we
question,
don't
à savoir,
talk
est-ce qu'on
about.
ferme SNC-Lavalin puis on donne les contrats à
She's
une
like,
autre entreprise?
now we
Une
have
autre entreprise
real
qui viendra
French.
d'où?
French from a French
de
person.
Toronto, des États-Unis
I
ou
call it French
d'ailleurs. Nous, ce qu'on dit, là, c'est que l'entreprise, il y a une espèce de châtiment collectif qui est après se faire par rapport aux employés, par rapport aux fournisseurs, par rapport
And no,
aux
I'm not
clients,
JF.
par
I do
rapport
not
aux
understand
familles
this.
de
I
ces
can only do the
travailleurs-là.
funny
Et
accent.
c'est
I
ça
cannot
qu'il
speak
faut
the French.
empêcher.
You want someone to understand
Actuellement, la
French?
compagnie
Talk to the
SNC-Lavalin,
blind
là,
one.
elle a déjà fait le ménage.
Her
là.
her
Ce
family
monde-là
are all
n'est plus là, puis
Frenchies.
ce monde-là, il est poursuivi.
See,
Alors, est-ce qu'on pourrait
And it was funny
avoir
because in
un
their
accord
chat,
de
there's someone in the
réparation
global
pour faire
news
en
chat
sorte que la
asked how many
compagnie
people
puisse
speak
poursuivre
French
ses
in Canada.
activités,
It's
que
about
les familles
40%.
puissent continuer à
Roughly,
vivre, à payer leur
sadly.
hypothèque, leur logement, à payer leur transport,
God,
à
does she
vivre, quoi.
have to
C'est ce
have
qu'ils demandent.
that? She does, doesn't she? Like it's like listening to your mother speak French. It's really funny.
Merci,
It's-
Monsieur le Président. Je salue
Oh,
ma
come on,
collègue
Speaker, don't you
qui,
start speaking French too.
dont l'opinion rejoint celle des députés du Québec, libéraux qui pensent
And again, this is
qu'effectivement,
live at 9 o'clock at night, so our
l'enjeu
parliament's kind of
majeur
in late
des
night talks
employés
right
au
now.
Québec comme dans le reste du Canada, des retraités
She speaks
et même
more,
des
she's
fournisseurs, tierces
terrible.
parties qui offrent des biens et services dont les employés travaillent
ça?
justement parce qu'ils ont des
It's
contrats avec
Michael
SNC-Lavalin,
Picard.
de valoriser cette compagnie-là parce que
Oh, why,
on
oh,
le
why
sait,
can I
ils
get
le
the
comprennent,
stupid
nous le
video to come
comprenons.
up?
On ne peut pas emprisonner un logo. Un logo ne peut pas commettre un crime.
And I,
Les individus
this guy,
peuvent le faire.
if-
C'est
oh, man.
exactement la raison pour laquelle
This guy looks like
l'accord de
Michael
réparation
Chiklis.
est prévu à cet effet-là. La nuance,
Let's see
c'est
here,
peut-être
where is-
peut-elle m'aider à faire comprendre aux autres collègues d'en face la notion de ce qui semble être inapproprié et mal expliqué parce que
Did it work? Did it
tout le
work?
monde
No, it didn't
utilise
work.
le mot inapproprié sans nécessairement
Weird.
le définir. Et pourtant, est-ce qu'elle convient que
The
le
speaker
fait
is actually
d'arriver à
doing
un
an
accord
alright
de
job.
réparation, un arrangement de réparation,
That's not the speaker now.
nécessite
This is
quelque part
Michael
une
Picard that's
un certain
speaking now.
échange, une certaine
Or
discussion
Michel Picard.
à l'exécutif et que les dossiers complexes auxquels il se rapporte nécessitent probablement
French
plus
and
qu'une
Quebecois
réunion.
French make fun of
De
it.
sorte
They
que
do, but
le
if you
collègue d'en face puisse
have you
comprendre
noticed
plus la réalité
in
de ce que
France,
c'est, des
they're
échanges
speaking more
appropriés.
English, kind of laden French, which is really funny. Le library,
Alors,
le car,
Monsieur le Président, définir,
le
approprier.
house.
Moi, je vous dirais que ce que je trouve tout à fait
Les
inapproprié
Nazis.
actuellement en cette Chambre, c'est le fait que l'opposition, que ce soit les conservateurs ou les
Why are you
néo-démocrates, font
speaking more
durer
French? Why aren't you people speaking English? The people in the channel don't want to listen to you people speak French. They want to hear a wonderful English accent, for this is the people's space. Okay, now you recognize the floor of someone from Three Rivers. Oh, this guy. Let's see here. This is driving me batty. Why? Oh, I think I know what's up. Okay. Sorry, people. I have horrible at this right now. I'm really trying to figure this shit out. Hey, that's not fair. Windows bar blocking me. Okay. I completely lost the window now. That's interesting. I can't even see it now myself. Next, they'll be translated into Arabic and Cantonese. Okay, French people. I wonder if they're redoing the entire debate from the beginning in French now, because, you know, we have to do that. Let's just go from here. Screw it. All right. You people are aggravating me. Yes, I said aggravating. I don't know why. There, this is the closest far back I can get.
unwanted, sustained, and coordinated pressure by the Prime Minister, the Clerk of the Privy Council, the Finance Minister, and their staff on the former Attorney General
House Leader of the official opposition.
A special deal. Madam Speaker, it was shocking testimony, it was riveting, and it was believable. Let me for a moment, Madam Speaker, recount some of the things that the former Attorney General told us yesterday. This is what she said. She said, I experienced a consistent and sustained effort by many people within the government to seek to politically interfere in the exercise of
time to get a strike.
Prosecutorial discretion, excuse me. I spoke to the Minister of Finance on this matter. I told him that engagements from his office to mine on SNC had to stop. They were inappropriate. They did not stop. She went on to say, various officials also urged me to take partisan political considerations into account, which is clearly improper for me to do. She told us that Jerry Butts, who then was the
he quit
chief
too.
advisor to the Prime Minister,
he just
said
quit
to her,
yesterday or the day before.
there is no solution here that doesn't involve some interference. Katie Telford said, we don't want to debate legalities anymore.
That's the other weird thing, is people keep suddenly disappearing from this. It's some weird shuffling of cards.
I think he's going to find a way to get it done one way or another. And she said this. She said these events constituted pressure to intervene in a
think
matter,
about it this way. Instead of them being QC, they're
was
PQ.
not appropriate. Madam Speaker, where did this all begin? Well, from our knowledge, it began about 4 weeks ago, February 7th. A story broke in the Globe and Mail of these alleged allegations that the Prime Minister and his office had exerted pressure on the former Attorney General to give a special deal to SNC-Lavalin. There were questions asked of the Prime Minister immediately. The media asked, Prime Minister, what's the former Attorney General talking about? Was there pressure applied to her?
This is what I was talking about. I figured I might as well go
and
straight
of
to the
course,
beginning.
the
Screw
Prime
it.
Minister, in his typical way, said, there's nothing to see here. In fact, this is what he said. He said, the allegations in the Globe story this morning are false. Neither the current nor the previous Attorney General was ever directed by me or anyone in my office to take a decision on this matter. He then went on, as we will all recall, to blame the former Attorney General. He said she had a different perspective. He said that if Scott Bryson had not left, then none of this would have happened. His story went on and changed over a number of weeks. In parallel, while the media, we here in the House of Commons were trying to get answers from the Prime Minister, in parallel, we were also, Conservatives and NDP, trying to get the Justice Committee to immediately undertake hearings on this so that answers could be found out immediately. And of course, we were stonewalled. First of all, the Justice Committee we had to force them to meet. Then they didn't want to call witnesses. Then they wanted to change the scope of what was being looked at. After being forced, basically kicking and screaming into having meetings, which, by the way, the Liberals on the Justice Committee were being directed by the House Leader's office and the Prime Minister's office. But after they were basically being forced, kicking and screaming into having these meetings, we then had to pressure them to invite witnesses that needed to be heard from, including the former Attorney General. So again, on one hand, the Prime Minister is denying that anything happened. There was no pressure applied. She was mistaken. Why didn't she come to me? It was all her fault for not telling me she felt pressure. Simultaneously, we were trying to get answers from the Justice Committee and wanting to see the former Attorney General come and be able to give fulsome testimony. This all culminated in what happened yesterday, where the Attorney General did appear. She was able to give a limited amount of testimony. She was able to speak up until the point when she was fired from her position as Attorney General and became the Veterans Affairs Minister. She was very clear, not yesterday, the day before, that she needed to be able to speak about what happened after she became Veterans Affairs Minister, during the time when she and the Prime Minister spoke in Vancouver,
that's
and
crazy.
Why she resigned.
You guys caught that, right? What that said, it was, she was told she could only talk about up until she got shit canned. Couldn't talk about anything after. That's a big problem. And then boom, hey, guess what? Now you're a veteran. Now you're in charge of yeah. This is, and yeah, hurts my brain.
Asked, she indicated that there was additional information that needed to be provided. So this is where we find ourselves today. The Prime Minister being accused of very serious things. A former Attorney General who, may I remind everyone, is the Attorney General that was, first of all, duly elected to this place, comes with a very impressive and solid career as a prosecutor. She was appointed by the Prime Minister because he had such faith and trust in her. And although we certainly didn't agree with her politics, I think that we would all be able to say that she certainly was one of a cabinet minister that was appointed on merit, and that she certainly is an individual that when she provides testimony and when she speaks, it is incredibly believable. But we have a Prime Minister...
Commentary. I'm providing commentary right now. Sorry, I'm trying to... Yeah. This is nuts.
Minister who even just yesterday said, there are disagreements and perspectives on this, but I can... Perspectives, he quite likes that word. But I can reassure Canadians that we're doing our job.
It's all about optics.
And he went on to say, I completely disagree with the former Attorney General's characterization of events. Basically, in the other words, she's lying. You know, I have to pause now because it seems to be a pattern for this Prime Minister. When people, and it would seem especially when women say no to him, his attack on them, and then his patronizing
your typical fucking liberal
characterization of what they recollect, there does seem to be a pattern. And I just want to remind everyone of what happened this past summer when the allegations and the story came out that 18 years prior,
did everybody catch that?
The Prime Minister was a young man, almost 30-year-old man, had groped a woman in the Kokanee at a festival. And when this story was brought to light in the summertime, just this summer, he was asked about it. And what was the first thing he said? July 1st.
I did not grab that woman's ass.
He said, I remember that day. I don't remember any negative interactions at all. Then a few days later, he was pressed further. So then he said, well, you know, often a man experiences interactions differently, maybe inappropriate, but we have to respect that and reflect. Then a few days later, he goes on again, and he starts his social thought process. I think people understand that situations are different, and we reflect and take it seriously.
Listen and believe, but not for me.
To range, just a lot of word salad.
What
he never says is, I did it. I was wrong. I apologize because it was the wrong thing to do. Right. That seemed to be what his take was on that. And you know, that woman in that scenario wasn't interested in talking. I think she'd had about enough of that Prime Minister. But we now today, although we find ourselves in a somewhat...
So yeah, this is not looking too good at all for the wonderful Prime Minister. It really does. Like, if you pay attention to his... Trudeau didn't do nothing. No, he did not grab that woman's ass in the Kokonos. He did not fly to a private island in the Caribbean that's owned by a Saudi something or other. It is Red Feather. Hello, Red Feather. How are you? I hope your quill is not in any bad ink. This be about the SNC's Laval scandal with our wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. And how you say, put his foot in his own ass, I would say. And Candice Bergen is just sitting here reiterating regaling us with the story of the groping in the Kokonos.
We have a woman who is not going to back down, and she will have her story heard.
Quite an interesting thing, though.
She will speak truth to power. But we certainly are seeing the same type of approach from the Prime Minister to these very serious, not just allegations, but what we have seen from the testimony to be very credible recollections. He, first of all, says it doesn't happen. He then, in a roundabout way, degrades her and patronizingly says that was just her perspective. But what
you know what? I do believe he grabbed the woman's ass because
take responsibility clearly and openly and
I just have a
transparently
feeling that
responsibility. And I think if you line
Sophie
up everything we've heard the Prime Minister
tends
say
to have
date, and you line that
men
up
coming
against
in
what
the
we
back
heard
as
the
he's
former
leaving out the front,
Attorney
if you
General
get my
say,
drift.
we have one individual, the former
Well, he's
Attorney
running the
General,
video
who is
camera through the
clear,
closet.
who has
Just a
documented,
little
she has
theory
kept
that
records,
we've been kicking
she
around
has,
the office,
she's
if you know
clearly
what I mean.
somebody that when you're talking with this woman, you better know that she is not thinking about something else. She is keeping track of what you are saying, and don't think for 1 minute you are going to fool her or get past anything that she
And now she starts...
that she's involved with. I think that was very clear yesterday. Then we have a Prime Minister who every time is asked a question is evasive, uses 3 or 4 words that are very legally precise. He is far from transparent. So, Madam Speaker,
He's
where
just
does
transparent as a brick.
this leave us? This leaves us at a crisis.
It really is.
Because
You
if we have
find
a
me
Prime
one
Minister
thing
who
that...
can't admit
Find me one
that he
question
has
he's
done
answered
something wrong,
without, you know,
take
dodging the question at the same
responsibility
time.
for it, own
Find
up
me
to
a question that
say
he's
it was
actually
wrong
answered
and he's going to
besides...
change it, which even at this point
besides
would
what
be too
suits
little,
the
too
narrative.
late. But if we don't have a Prime Minister who can be truthful, we
Oh,
can't
someone
trust
actually
him
published
to
the
get to
Momo
bottom
challenge.
of
It's
this.
not
I know
real.
there's some
Good.
discussions about an inquiry. Frankly, I don't trust this Prime Minister to call an inquiry. I don't trust this
Oh
Prime
yeah, that's
Minister
the
to
other
allow
thing.
the
Everybody's
the
been
right
saying they
witness-
keep
Madam,
this
how much
whole
time do I
thing
have,
is
Madam
because
Speaker? I'm done.
he will
So,
not
Madam
testify
Speaker, I will
under
say
oath.
this is
Trudeau.
why we are
He
at
will
a
not testify
crisis
under oath
at the
what
very
he
heart of our
knows or his
democracy.
knowledge
The
of
Prime
anything
Minister
at all.
doesn't have the
He
moral
won't
authority
go
to
before a
continue.
committee.
He needs to resign. Thank you.
And that's the biggest problem. He will not go before the committee, which is what this entire debate is all about. Where are we at anyway? Are they still talking funny language? Are they still talking clown farts?
Du discours de mon collègue, c'est le tout début. Quand il dit qu'on se retrouve à un carrefour, je trouvais que l'image était très simple et très compréhensible. On tourne à droite, on s'en va au criminel, on tourne à gauche, on s'en va vers un accord de réparation.
I actually don't even
Alors,
want to look at that chat from what I've seen.
C'est pourquoi l'ancienne procureure générale a décidé de tourner à droite. Alors, il y avait probablement des avis juridiques qui lui disaient que tourner à gauche, c'était pas possible. Et peut-être que SNC-Lavalin se qualifiait pas à la règle que les libéraux ont eux-mêmes mis dans le projet de loi Omnibus. Alors, ma question, ne croit-il pas que la solution, c'est vraiment d'avoir le plus rapidement possible une enquête publique qui nous...
Questions and comments? The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General.
I thank the member from Portage-Lisker for commencing this debate, and it's indeed an important debate to have, and it's very critical because Canadians are asking questions through the parliamentarians about this very significant. Sixth, and perhaps most importantly, she indicated that the state of our institutions, the independence of our processes is indeed strong.
Listen to this for a minute.
Given that record from what we've heard, what I would ask the member opposite is that is it important to allow the committee to continue their important work, which has called at least 4 witnesses thus far, not excluding all of the academic witnesses, but just today has decided to call also the Principal Secretary, former Principal Secretary, as well as returning the Deputy Minister and the Clerk of the Privy Council.
The Honourable Official Opposition House Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, this is where the problem that we have. Anybody who watched that testimony would never, ever characterize it in the way that that member just characterized it.
Why do you want... Okay, you want to sing?
His characterization just was that she basically...
I am not going to sing. These people do not want to hear me sing, trust me. I have a terrible singing voice. They do not want to hear that. You can sing, though.
But mine sing. Dad?
What? Sing is actually a Dollywall.
Oh no, we don't want to have political pressure. This is pretty actually. The Liberals are very good at the PMO and the Prime Minister.
Right now, no.
Say one thing and do another. So I've no doubt that's what he was trying to pull with her, but it wasn't about to work. So this is the problem. No, her testimony was not refreshing. It was not refreshing. It was disturbing. It was sad. It was appalling. We don't need to hear refreshing and wonderful in perspective. We have a government that is being deceptive, that is not owning up to what they have done, and it goes to the very heart of who we are as Canadians and this democracy.
Okay,
so can we right now establish...
No, I have to allow for another question. Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Member for Timmins, James Bay.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Gee, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I'm going to leave you guys because the family kind of takes priority here.
Of the question
I got a
the
baby and a
independence
boy.
of the judicial
There's a baby
system
boy.
of our country.
Okay, stop
and
touching the controller.
Sustained interference and undermining by the key members of the Prime Minister's office
Sing
at
Welcome
the
to the
direct
Jungle.
direction
No,
of the
I will
Prime
not.
Minister, to me, is a line that has crossed.
Okay,
they've gone
everyone.
much
Can you
beyond
say
that
goodbye,
line.
everybody?
But I want to bring my colleagues' attention to some of the most shocking news, which is the threats that were made
'Cause
by the clerk of
that
the
guy
Privy
looks like
Council,
Stephen
who's
Harper.
supposed to be the
Holy crap.
independent, nonpartisan voice. I had asked the member, former minister, she felt threatened. She said he had threatened her 3 times, and she was waiting for the other shoe to drop. She referenced the Saturday Night Massacre
Jimmy
when
Dollywall,
Richard Nixon fired the
MP,
special
yeah.
counsel. And she was
Stop
then
it.
removed from her post.
Please don't twist that.
And she said that the clerk
You're gonna-
phoned her former deputy and said they would put the new minister
wanna wear
in,
my
and the
headset?
first order of business
Why
would
do you
be
wanna-
getting
why
that
are you taking
SNC
off my
deal.
headphones?
So I asked the honourable member,
I've been usurped.
the present Attorney General
I've lost.
needs
The people
come
are going to have
clean.
to deal with the
What
cuteness now.
conversations were had with him
Oh no,
to
the
force
cuteness is
this
coming.
deferred.
The cuteness is coming, the cuteness is coming, the cuteness is coming to get you.
My dad.
Are you wearing the headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah? Here, tell you what, let's do something fun here. You know what? Screw Parliament. I don't care.
What?
Screw parliamentary procedure. We're going to have some fun.
Daddy.
Alex?
Please.
Hold on, you want to watch something funny? You want to see something funny?
No.
No. Let's see here.
My Paw Patrol, please, Dad.
It's too late to play Paw Patrol, please, Alex.
My Paw Patrol, Dad.
I want to play Paw Patrol, Dad.
It's too late, buddy. You need to go to bed.
Tell you what, I will let you wave at the chat, okay? How about that? Do you want to wave at the chat? Would you like to do that, buddy?
Logan, where are you going?
Here, you can wave at the chat, okay? You ready? Look at the screen. See the camera?
It's on the S.
Yeah, but look. Ready?
No.
Ready?
No.
Ready? There you go!
No.
Yeah! Look, there you are! Right there! Ah! Okay, are you done now? Look, are you done interrupting me?
No.
No? Are you sure? You know what? We did have a politician that was on this. His name was Chrétien. He was a Frenchman. He was a liberal. And he punched his own assassin. Logan, come here. Since everyone seems to want to take over the screen, come here. Get a ball. Show them. Ball. There. No, leave my chair alone. Leave my comfy chair. It's the squeaky office chair we don't want.
Why?
We want the comfy chair, right? Right. There, see? There's the evil army. These will rule the world.
Daddy.
Okay, out. Everybody out.
Kill it with fire.
Yes, the chair. Kill it with fire. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
A bum.
Uh-oh.
My brother bought me a bum.
Who had the ball first? Who had the ball first? All right. Let me drop this back down. Okay. All right. Hold on. Bye, everybody.